Elections will be held for Prince George's County Executive. 11 people, 8 Democrats and 3 Republicans are vying to fill the role vacated when Angela Alsobrooks was elected to the U.S. Senate. Joining us now is one of those candidates on the Democratic side, Tonya Sweat. Thank you so much for joining us. And we do want to point out that 7 News and WJLA 24/7 News offered every candidate time on our air. Some candidates did decline, but Tonya Sweat, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about your candidacy. You're running to be the next county executive in Prince George's County. What qualifies you to take on that position?
Yes. Well, I'm a 30-year attorney. I've done complex civil and criminal litigation, served in the United States Air Force as a judge advocate for 7 years, and I also worked in the federal government as a banking and financial regulator. And I tell people I served at one of the country's worst times. I was serving during the Great Recession. My claim to fame is I served on the team that wrote the policy that ultimately became the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010. So with all of that government experience, banking and finance knowledge, I understand the government well. I understand economics. I have an MBA. And so at this point in time, who else would be better than me to serve as the county executive?
And right now you run your own consulting firm.
That is correct. I run my own consulting firm, and I also represent clients in court every day in the state of Maryland.
When it comes to leading in politics, since you're in the private sector right now, how do you think that transition would be if you do get this position?
Well, I tell people when serving in the Air Force, especially as a lawyer, I worked for politicians. Most of my commanders and supervisors were colonels and generals. Those are some of the best politicians I've ever met in my career. Serving in the Obama administration, of course I worked for politicians. They're appointees. And so I was always behind the scenes doing the work, giving them the law, recommending the policies. All I'm doing now is transitioning out into the forefront. And having managed my own business, I understand what it is to be a small business owner. Those are some of our biggest constituents in Prince George's County. So I understand the role of a politician, I understand the role of a leader, and I understand what it is to live in Prince George's County.
Right now you're competing against a couple heavy hitters when it comes to the political ring anyways. We have the former executive, Rashawn Baker, and we also have Brave Boy, who is the state's attorney.
Yes.
Vying for these positions, what chances do you give yourself against just two of the 11 candidates?
Yes, I have just as good a chance as anybody running at this moment in time. I will tell you, most of the candidates, half of them, have been in local, state government for a long time. I think Prince George's County is ready for someone new with new ideas, because Prince George's County is facing a $180 million deficit. The state has a $3 billion deficit, and we need someone with new ideas, creative ideas that are going to help the county raise its revenue, potentially help the state raise its revenue, and do something different. Homeowners want tax relief. Our elderly want some tax relief. They want rent relief. We have bad infrastructure, and we have to improve our education system. The leaders that we have right now haven't seemed to be able to do that, so it's time to try some new things.
Tonya Sweat, candidate for Prince George's County executive, and on a Wednesday, WJLA 24/7 News held a debate with some of the other candidates for Prince George's County. You can watch the replay of the debate Sunday night, February 16th, 6 to 7, and find more information about all of the candidates, including Tonya Sweat, on WJLA.com. The special election is March 4th, and the general election is June 3rd. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Again, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.